Hi, and welcome back to summer programming on the NLPL YouTube channel. My name is Quinn, and I'm here this week to bring you a summer fun activity. Now, Emily challenged you to read a fairy tale this week, and I have a fairy tale inspired activity for you today. But first, we're going to read a story. Let's read the book Interrupting Chicken together. This book is written and illustrated by David Ezra Stein, and it's published by Candlewick Press. Here we have Chicken. This book is called Interrupting Chicken, right, Papa? And Papa responds, yes. Now please don't interrupt the story. Now when we interrupt someone, it's quite often when we talk while someone else is speaking. So we'll have to see what kind of interrupting Chicken does. Interrupting Chicken. Interrupting Chicken by David Ezra Stein. It was bedtime for the little red chicken. He's going through his bedtime routine, similar to maybe what you do for your bedtime routine. Okay, my little chicken, said Papa. Are you all ready to go to sleep? Yes, Papa, but you forgot something. What's that? Asked Papa. A bedtime story. Bedtime stories are the best, aren't they? All right, said Papa. I'll read you one of your favorites. And of course, you are not going to interrupt the story tonight, are you? Oh, no, Papa. I'll be good. Sometimes we get so excited about stories, we interrupt them, don't we? Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel were very hungry. Deep in the woods, they found a house made of candy. Nibble, nibble, nibble. They began to eat the house until the old woman who lived there came out and said, "Oh, what lovely children! Why don't you come inside?" They were just about to follow her when out jumped Little Red Chicken, and she said, "Don't go in, she's a witch." So Hansel and Gretel didn't. The end. Now, is that how the actual story of Hansel and Gretel went? I don't think so. I think this is Chicken's version of Hansel and Gretel. Chicken? Yes, Papa? You interrupted the story. Try not to get so involved. I'm sorry, Papa, but she really was a witch. Well, you're supposed to be relaxing so you can fall asleep. Let's try another story. I'll be good. Do you think Chicken will be able to control himself? Little Red Riding Hood. Take this basket of goodies to grandmother, said Little Red Riding Hood's mother. But don't stray from the path. The woods are full of danger. Red Riding Hood skipped along through the deep woods. By and by, she met a wolf who wished her good morning. She was about to answer him when out jumped a little red chicken, and she said, "Don't talk to strangers." So Little Red Riding Hood didn't. The end. Now, is that how Little Red Riding Hood, the story of Little Red Riding Hood actually ended? No. Little Chicken's really changing the story, isn't she? Chicken. Yes, Papa? You did it again. You interrupted 2 stories, and you're not even sleepy. I know, Papa. I'm sorry. But he was a mean old wolf. Yes. Now get back into bed. Okay, Papa. Let's try one more little story, and I'll be good. See if Chicken's able to control herself. Chicken Little. Chicken Little was hit on the head by an acorn. The sky is falling, she thought. She was about to run off and warn Goosey Lucy, Ducky Lucky, Henny Penny, and everyone on the farm the sky was falling when out jumped a little red chicken, and she said, Don't panic, it was just an acorn. So Chicken Little didn't. The end.
Chicken.
Yes, Papa?
You did it again.
Oh, Papa, I couldn't let that little chicken get all upset over an acorn. Please read one more story and I promise I'll fall asleep.
But Chicken, said Papa, we are out of stories.
Oh no, Papa, I can't go to sleep without a story.
Then, said Papa, yawning, why don't you tell me a story?
Me? Tell a story? Said the little red chicken. Okay, Papa, here we go. Bedtime for Papa by Chicken. Once there was a little red chicken who put her papa to bed. She read him 100 stories. She even gave him warm milk, but nothing worked. He stayed wide awake all... Papa fell asleep, didn't he? You can hear him snoring. Papa? Good night, Papa. The chicken tucking in Papa. The end. Even though Chicken was interrupting, I really enjoyed hearing her endings to all of the different fairy tales. For this week's activity, let's all read a fairy tale and then write or draw a new ending, just like Chicken. Plenty of authors retell traditional fairy tales. Let's take, for example, the story of Little Red Riding Hood. In the traditional tale, the wolf eats Granny, and then a woodsman comes and saves both Little Red Riding Hood and Granny. In Chicken's version, which we already heard, Chicken was able to warn Little Red Riding Hood about the big bad wolf, changing the story completely. Beth Ann Woolven also writes a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood called Little Red. In this book, there is no woodsman to save the day, but an intelligent and resourceful Little Red Riding Hood saves herself. In our libraries, we also have a Red Riding Hood story from China called Lan Po Po. This book is written and illustrated by Ed Young. This retelling is about 3 sisters and a wolf that dresses up as their grandmother. I won't give away the ending to this book. You'll have to borrow it from the library and read it yourself. Well, I hope you have an excellent week reading and retelling fairy tales.